And today we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite topics, the five-piece French wardrobe. Now, this isn't as dramatic as it sounds, five-piece, but bear with me because you're going to find out what it is. My name is Leah, by the way, and I'm the founder of Wings Conscious Styling. You can learn more about Wings than myself and Hannah in previous videos on this channel. But let's get to this five-piece French wardrobe. So, what is it? The concept comes from the idea of a capsule wardrobe, but it isn't quite a capsule wardrobe as such. So, the process starts out with some capsule principles, but it builds. Okay, it's a curated and sustainable way of building and organizing your wardrobe, and it moves away from overconsumption and focuses on investing in a more streamlined quality wardrobe that's in line with your personal style. You get to know yourself with this process and your personal style, and of course that can have changes over time, but it also has something very consistent about it. So it starts with a strong foundation. Okay, so this is a foundation of basics and staples. Now, sometimes people just talk about basics or essentials or staples. I've really started to put basics and staples as separate, and then have statements. Now, I used to say basics and essentials and statements or extras, but a staple to me is the same as an essential. What's essential to you and your personal style? What's a staple to your wardrobe? And basics are more like basic. But I'm going to actually do another video or more on basics and staples because I can really get into that. But a basic is basically, it's usually simple in design, often neutral, doesn't have to be, but often is, and it kind of is meant to blend in. But a staple, as I said, are your core must-haves. So you've got to do a process of knowing what your must-haves are, what you're about in your personal style. Okay, so yeah, staples, they tend to have a bit more personality, a bit more structure. Doesn't mean they have to be structured, they can be fluid. But it's like the difference between, I don't know, just think about the trousers I've got on today. I've got like a tie waist and they're sort of tailored but soft, and like a big tie, like a big ribbony, not ribbon, I don't like it. I like paper bag trousers, but they're not paper bag. They haven't got the baggy bit at the top, and just cut just above the ankle, and but they're not they're not severely tailored because that doesn't always work well on me. Or I might have like a satin knee length satin skirt and chocolate brown. I actually do have one of those, and that might be a staple to me. Yeah, even though it's fluid, it's not tailored. So when I say tailored, I'm talking about something with a bit more presence or structure than, say, a jersey. We call them vest tops here in the UK, but a tank top, I think I hear they're called in America. Or a pair of leggings. Do you see the sort of difference? But you can also decide for you what's basic and staple. It's like it's a journey, honestly. And yeah, staples are really versatile. As a basics, but basics are more of a layering piece or a filler. Um, and yeah, and there are lists, aren't there, about essentials or staples or basics. And I actually have a list myself that I created, but it's a little bit different from just standard lists. So I'm not saying it's better, it's just has a bit more versatility and bringing yourself into it. But like, for example, you often see like a white button-down shirt with a collar. I've bought a few of these over the past decade and worn them once, twice. Then I learned I'm better without a collar. Sometimes there's certain things I might have a collar, but better without one, something more fluid, something more silk shirt like, silk blouse like. But I still don't wear that often in a cream. I do more than, say, a white ribbon cream button down with a collar, but it's just not my go-to. So at most, I might have one cream silk shirt as my version of white because it can be useful, but I don't much wear it. I could actually not have that and still have a functional, very functional, beautiful wardrobe. So I could or could not include that in my staples, but I'm getting a bit deep into staples and basics now because that's what I do. You know, find it interesting. But yeah, basics and staples, they're going to make up your reliable go-to pieces, especially the staples. Basics could have a quick turnover, maybe. She might wear a vest top under all sorts, you might sleep in it, you might work out in it, you might use it under a sweater in the winter, you might use it as just layering with a little cotton cardigan in a spring or summer. Um, but yeah, they're going to make up your go-to pieces, your reliable pieces. Your staples often will function as anchors. We will get more into anchors at another time, but they generally, say you've got a statement, an anchor piece stops the statement sort of floating off, if that makes any sense at all. Um, yes, and statements are often where you, not always, but often where your five pieces will come in. It can also be non-statements. Again, it's back to finding your personal style. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few examples from my own wardrobe in a minute, but first, to say you add five pieces per season. Now, technically, so you've got your selection of basics down. If you know your seasonal palette, that's even better because your neutrals can be in your palette. Um, like I said, they don't always have to be neutrals. There are certain colours. Like for me, rust can function in my staples and basics because it's a colour I wear a lot. It's almost a orange, it's almost a brown. I can use it as a neutral, I can use it as a colour. So you don't have to just stick to neutrals. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Um, but I find it's helpful to have certain neutrals. But the seasons, spring, summer, and autumn, winter. Yeah, two. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Now, if you're going to struggle with that, you can do for the first couple of times of a year turning, do spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Yep. If you've had trouble with overbuying, over consuming, or you're used to buying a lot of things, to go down to 10 pieces per season, I mean, per year, might feel a bit restrictive, and then there might be the impulse to buy. So if you were to do five per 4 seasons, 20, that might be a better starting point. But again, it's deciding where you want to start. But generally, it's done in the two: spring, summer, autumn, winter. And just say, yeah, it's try and stick to the five, but if it's 4 or 6, the world's not going to stop turning because of that. So trends, that's another thing. Your five pieces could be based on trends, but I find it's better to, if you really like a trend, it's because you really like that trend ongoing. For example, leopard. That comes round in cycles, but the 2018, 19, I think it was, about 18-ish, leopard trend, I fell in love with it. I learned Leopard Loves Me, the traditional looking leopard colours, and yeah, I waited on it, and leopard is still in my wardrobe, less so, but it's still there as a staple print for me and almost functions like a neutral or sometimes a statement and or a pop of something. And yeah, it's, say that leopard was trending again now, I wouldn't buy it because it's a trend. I'd buy it because, oh, leopard is something I have ongoing. just in a certain amount in my wardrobe, and I'll wear it long after the trend fades. So if you think about trends like that, but many of us might want to experiment, and that's okay too. And that those five pieces can be a way to experiment, but I would encourage you not to use it just for ongoing experimenting. So learn about yourself and your personal style first, but sometimes that includes a bit of experimenting. So it's a bit of chicken and egg, isn't it? There, which came first. But everyone's different, so you're going to find your own process with this. Okay, so shoes and accessories tend to not count. Some people do count them. I like to have a basics and staples shoes and accessories collection. Then anything else in shoes will go into my, or accessories will go into my five pieces. Basics and staples don't count in the five pieces because they're going to be an ongoing sort of the foundation. It's like the foundation of the house, yeah, or the foundation and the bricks, and then you're going to start decorating and painting, and these are your five pieces, and furnishing, and so yeah, so they don't count. You can replace those as they need replacing without them counting in the five pieces. Some people have different opinions. If it's very a higher price point on these, they might go into your five pieces. Again, I'm going to go more deeply into this as we go along in videos and really start to break each bit down. Okay, so yeah, now all that's been said, this actually works best if you declutter your wardrobe first and see what's left to work with that you will truly wear and where your starting point is. So, having said all that, we might need to talk about decluttering. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. So, here's me. And five, one, two, three, four. Oh, actually, I've got six there. You see, you can kind of, like I'm wearing one of them. You can go a bit outside of it, but don't be like too lenient with yourself, like six, five, or 14, because then that what I've done though is not gone and bought five new pieces because I've been shopping my closet. I've actually done this with a shopping closet, a closet, a closet shop, rather than going and buying new pieces because I really want to wear what I've got first, not only for sustainability reasons, but for money reasons. And I've got some quite nice pieces in there that I want to use. So I started this again in summer. I've done it many times in the past. So this I'm doing the four seasons at the moment. Not because of overconsumption, but because of what's already in my closet is I want to get more use out of those. So here we have a little pair of leopard shorts. I've used AI there. They've got a frill on the bottom actually, mine, but a little pair of leopard shorts that I have, or shorts with leopards on. Really, really cute. The satin. They've got actually like a tie thing, like a big, um, like a ribbon, but in the satin on the waist. But AI from the photograph translated it a little bit differently, but that's okay. Can't see really well there, but a little puff sleeve white blouse that would be from a staple. Now, there'd probably be a staple. Those sunglasses, that's an accessory, that's an accessory. If that was just a plain white t-shirt and without the little puffy sleeves, it would be a basic. To me, someone else that could feel like a staple, and just like a strappy jersey camisole might be a basic, but I don't, I only really wear a cream t-shirts under something or at least under a cardigan or under a bit of a see-through blouse. I might wear it to work out, for bed. It's not part of my staple personal style, but it is for some other people. We're all different. Um, but yeah, I'd say I've got a staple and a statement there because the shorts are a statement. So I'm imagining when I shop my closet, I bought those in. That dress, sort of vintage inspired dress. I like vintage inspired, not going full on vintage, but vintage, like a modern vintage inspired. Um, Definitely a statement. I've counted this sundress, it's got a frill. I've counted that as a statement. It's not too statementy though. That could almost be a staple because it's like a olive green and cream. It's not as in your face as that, as the floral, the rose dress there, the vintage inspired, but I'm just counting it for now as a statement. This is the Gaspard Cezanne cardigan. I love it. That's a staple to me. I've got a little like a jersey cardigan. To me, that's a basic. It's not as luxurious as the Cezanne cardigan. It didn't cost as much as the Cezanne cardigan that I wear and wear and wear. These sandals now, I've been back and forth. Are these a statement or a staple? Given my own personal style, they're actually a staple, I would I'd say, rather than a statement. But I've put them in statements for now. That I'm letting them be a statement because I do have some plainer staple losing my words, sandals. Now, this top that I've got on today, I've actually bought two of these. I only got this a couple of weeks ago. It's in the sale and I got two, so I love it so much. Sort of terracotta and cream polka dots. So hard to find polka dots in my autumn palettes, and I love it. And I was short of tops that were not basics and that had or that were in neutrals. So, and the orange spectrum in the autumn palette, so the sort of oranges that are for autumns, are some of my best colours for me, my absolute glow colours. So we have our palette, but in that there's certain colours that really are our colour, and mine is in the oranges, so rust, terracotta, even bright orange, a sort of blush peachy that brings out my ballet side, that I love. I do love pink, sort of baby pink, soft pink, but it's not the best on me. It's not bad, um, but a sort of light salmon, warm, peachy blush is where I bring out my ballet side. In That's my version of a ballet pink, and yeah. But I've got two of these because I do know I'm going to wear and wear and wear this, and then I've got another one that I will. When this is one I wear and wear, and I don't think they're going to they're in the sale. They're from the summer season coming out. They're not going to get them back in. Um, so yeah, with it being having some colour, but like I said, this colour could almost work as a neutral for me, but it can also work as a colour. But polka dots, the little cowley, the draping neck, I'm counting it as a statement this time round. Now, now this sweatshirt, I love it. I absolutely flipping love it. And oh, flipping, that's so it's not a swear word, that's a British word we say. Flipping, I don't know if many people outside the UK have heard that. Um, yes, I really do need all these bats. I'm not a sweatshirt person, but for loungewear, for throwing on for a dog walk, things like that. And I've got pet rats, and I go on and on and on about them, and I'm aware that I'm trying not to talk about them right now. I love them, and yes, I do need them all. I just, yeah, I absolutely love that, and that's a statement in my loungewear and dog walking sort of wear type of thing. So yeah. Now, I do have a few more statements from shopping my closet. I've recently added into my 5 pieces. I think I'm on 8 or 9 pieces because the clothes were already there in my wardrobe and I wanted to get some more wear out of them. But when I made these slides, these were the ones that were there, and these are the main ones. Now, if I was starting from scratch, which I will do eventually, the pieces would be different, and I'd stick to the five. Now, here we have just these are a couple of things as autumn comes in that I was definitely from what I already had in my wardrobe going to put in. It's quite short, that dress, but my little puff sleeve, velvet, moss green, absolutely adore it dress. This was like last festive season. And my little rat with his hat on, hence that's what the hats are doing. I'm like, that's definitely going to be a key player in the five pieces from my closet shop for autumn. I've just sorted my autumn wardrobe. This dress, I absolutely love it. Um, yeah, black's not in my palette, but there's only bits of black. There's lots of golds in there, and there's a bit of orange in there actually, and browns. Vintage inspired. That's definitely going in. There's my camel. That's in my all year round staples, but Gaspard cardigan. This is But since then, I've added in. Well, I added in three more pieces from shopping my closet, but and then another three. Like I said, gone outside of the five because the clothes were already there. And yeah, some things I realised, I just won't wear them. So they'll go and donate or give away or repurpose, make into rat hammocks or something. And a couple of things just folded away that I've not decided on. And then when I look at those, maybe saying next year I might be, oh yeah, that's a nice surprise. But yeah, there's just two when I made this slide, but I have filled in the others since. Now then, let's have a look at this. What I've learned over time from this process, and also, learning about my personal style, learning what items I like or brands are the ones that work for me. I keep talking about Cézanne, but I love all things French, and I do love that brand. I don't work for that brand, but I'm happy to talk about it and say the word Cézanne because I would encourage people to go there if that's their thing. But this Camel Gaspard cardigan, the cream ones behind it, I must have worn that. Talk about cost per wear. It definitely got great costs per wear for that. And I'll keep wearing it and wearing it. And when these two have seen the best of days, I will buy those again as my neutrals. I've got my eye on a green one and a red one as well. And I think there's a kind of peacock blue one that I liked. But there's many colours. But that, and also a cardigan similar to the Gaspard that I might get instead. But I've learned over time, it really serves me to have a light and a sort of mid or darker neutral in that cardigan. And it's a really good wool. It's merino, so it can help you feel not too hot, or it can help you feel warmer. It's just how that works. And as you will see, there I am wearing it with that dress on the previous slide. There I am wearing it with a white t-shirt. I think I've got jeans on there, but I've put like a leopard rose clip in my hair just to spice things up a little bit. So I don't often wear a white t-shirt or cream t-shirt. There it is with the cami. It's got lace on, but I turned it back to front because I was doing some of my counselling client work, and it's a bit boudoir for that work. So I just turned it back to front. The lace just makes it a bit boudoir, which I don't mind in my normal life, but it's not appropriate for that aspect of work. And there it is there, and there it is over that dress from before. This dress I wear all the time. In fact, I've got two because I wear it that much. And it's a warmer burgundy than it looks there, but there is the cream Gaspard. So I learned that is a key player. And that's just a small example of times I wear it. I'll even put it over a nightie or pajamas, one of these cardigans, especially the cream one. By Cézanne jeans. So I've got them on with the cami here, with the t-shirt here, and various other times I will wear those. So I've learned that's something I'll buy again. So they're three key players in my staples that are a no-brainer for me to rebuy. Yeah, and so you learn these things about yourself over time with that process. So yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, declutter and organize what you've got. So that's a process in itself. I will make sure I do some videos on that. I do have a booklet actually I wrote where you can DIY declutter, or you can hire myself and Hannah to help you declutter. There is that too, but there's also lots online about decluttering, but a declutter can help first because you know what you're working with. Then you're looking at your basics, your staples. If you just want to call it all basics and blend them together, or again, it depends on your personal style as well. That can be a factor. It doesn't depend on it, but it can be a factor. Um, yeah, what's essential to you? But again, this is something you're going to be learning about yourself, and then add in per season 2 or 4 seasons, 5 pieces. I do encourage you to try doing it as a shop your closet um, first, and also especially if you've got a fair bit of things, and if you've also got some of those foundation pieces or all of them for now, then and you've got lots of other things, then doing that can be really helpful. Like I say, I did go a little bit outside of the five because I wanted to wear some more things in, bring some more things in to wear. But if you might ask, well, what about if I put things away, then I'm not wearing them? But then they're a nice surprise, aren't they, for another season? It might encourage you to wear them more after giving them a little break. So yeah, I encourage that for us. Or you might be starting from scratch or semi-scratch. But again, I'm going to get more and more into this. So back to a blank slate, because that's where some people might be starting from. And I'll be back with more of this, and I hope I've covered a good introduction with this. I mean, I love the topic, and I'll speak to you all soon on this. You take good care, and bye for now.